Up next on The Bottom Line, a small nonprofit that's having a big impact across the country.
I was a kid who also entered the system, and the one thing we all had in common is everybody had a trash bag. And so what we did was we decided to put some cases together.
We'll take you to a hidden treasure in Montgomery County that's certain to brighten your day.
We want to go on our summer bucket list.
A group of future leaders spend a day learning about what makes the wheels of government turn.
I've had a parent actually let me know, break down and cry and tell me, that she has to keep it together for her kids.
And we'll meet some of Montgomery County Police's newest recruits.
This is just a great experience. I mean, people think police are bad. They're actually not. When you do the right thing, then you have nothing to worry about.
Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm Susan Kenedy. Montgomery County is full of organizations that make it their mission to give back to the community. In our first story, Councilmember Sydney Katz and I visit a small nonprofit in Rockville that's having a big impact on foster children from around the globe. When each one of Rob Shear's 4 adopted children arrived on his doorstep, they had what he calls the standard foster child suitcase, a trash bag. For him, that brought back memories.
For me, I was a kid who also entered the system. I have 4 kids that were in the system. And the one thing we all had in common is everybody had a trash bag. And we realized that that's what kids carry in foster care, is they actually carry trash bags. So my husband and I and our 4 kids decided one Christmas that we wanted to do something different. And so what we did was we decided to put some cases together.
The comfort cases contain a new pair of pajamas, a blanket, toiletries, and a book that he says provide the kids with a sense of dignity and gives them something they can call their own.
Kids that are in care, over 80% of them come in the back of a police cruiser with the clothes on their back, okay? They're taken out of situations either through neglect or abuse, and we know that they come with nothing.
In the 5 years Comfort Cases has been in existence, they have shipped more than 36,000 cases to 39 different states. This nonprofit is supported solely by donations and volunteers, 95% of which come from Montgomery County. Shear says it's about building communities that care.
In my previous world, I hadn't thought about how a foster child goes to a foster home. You know, what they carry and what it means and everything associated with his story about the whole idea of putting soap in the package is when I first thought of it there, why would you do that? And he said, well, I tell you what, if somebody leaves their soap behind in a hotel, go ahead and use it. And I thought, I'm not going to do that. Well, that's exactly the point.
The cases are distributed to children up to the age of 18. There are boxes of cases shipped out of the Rockville headquarters on a daily basis. And they will continue to ship as long as there are kids who need them. Volunteers from all walks of life spend hours packing the cases. The demand is up, so the hours are long and hard. But in the end, the payoff drives home why their work is so meaningful.
The feedback, like these stories of this one little girl, and it broke your heart. She put all her new stuff in it, and she slept in it that night because it was hers.
Just within the last 2 weeks, the nonprofit has taken on a new mission to provide comfort cases to those immigrant children who have been separated from their families at the border. Through research, they discovered as many as 3,000 of those children will end up in the system by next month.
So what we wanted to do is make sure we raised enough money to be able to help put the books in there that are actually bilingual books.
I'm donating books and stuffed animals to comfort cases. I'm moved by the children, who are separated from their parents and so forth. So I think foster children and children separated from their parents is something you really need to respond to.
This is not politics for me. I don't know what they were running from. I don't know why they wanted to leave their country. But the fact is they came to our country, which, by the way, people keep forgetting how we built this country. Yeah. We built this country on the back of many, many immigrants.
If you'd like to donate or volunteer your time to help eliminate trash bags from the lives of foster children, go to the Comfort Cases website to learn more. Washington, D.C. may have its cherry blossoms in the spring, but here in Montgomery County, we have thousands of sunflowers that bloom each July on acres of land just off River Road. And as we found out, recent publicity has brought new popularity to these fields of gold. There's a hidden gem off River Road that's certain to put a bright spot in your day. The McKee-Bescher sunflower fields in Poolesville are in full bloom. And photographers, artists, and tourists are making this spot a top summer destination. And surprisingly, it's been around for decades.
I've never known that. I mean, we've lived here 36 years. I don't know how many years they started this, but I've
First time we've been here.
We've been planting sunflower fields on this property since the state has owned it. Back in the 60s, early 70s, I believe, is when the state started purchasing it. The sunflowers are planted to attract doves and other wildlife, primarily doves, for the mourning dove hunting season that begins in September.
But thanks to social media, the sunflower fields have exploded in popularity. The stunningly beautiful blooms are in full glory from mid-July until early August. Nature lovers and photographers make the trek out to Poolesville to capture the golden hues.
I have a friend that still lives down here, and they actually texted me yesterday and said, you better get down there in prime time now. And so I'm here.
When did you first see it on social media?
I would say last year. It was really big hit last year. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you didn't make it out last summer?
No.
So you got here
We're like,
this
yeah,
year.
we want to go on our summer bucket list.
Though aesthetically beautiful, the sunflowers are illegal to pick.
Right now, it's primary pollinators, so some insects that are using these fields heavily. And then later in August, once they've matured completely, we will actually come through with a tractor and a mower and mow strips through here to knock the seed down on the ground. Where some of the other seed-eating birds, primarily mourning doves that don't feed when they're up on the stalk, can access the seeds.
Ann Schaefer is a painter who has been coming to the sunflower fields for 5 years.
It makes you happy just to see it, and the colors are great. I love yellows and lavenders, and that's what I'm painting here.
And for Jason Schlossberg, the flowers presented a unique opportunity to get creative.
It's kind of a not-so-hidden treasure of Maryland, so it's absolutely beautiful, and you have a narrow opportunity to do a couple weeks here each year. It's like the golden of the cherry blossoms. So I wanted to get out here and do something a little bit different, get some fashion models, show off some fashion, and just have it nice contrast to the golden sunflowers. You gotta be real careful not to hurt the sunflowers. I'm a big fan of just finding the most iconic spots of DC. I mean, you have your monuments, you have the cherry blossoms. I think this is one of those iconic spots that are unique to DC, and as you know, there's a lot of photographers that come out here every year. Instagram is flooded with pictures. You know, I noticed that a lot of the pictures though are of either their friends or the environment. I want to bring some more human element into some more fashion. That's what my idea was.
We understand people want to get pictures in the sunflowers, but we do ask people to limit how far in they go, because with all the activity, wildlife isn't going to use these fields. So if we can keep people on the periphery of these fields, the birds and the insects will utilize the interior of the fields as well. And that is our primary focus for these fields, is for wildlife.
Before making the trek to Poolesville, you can check the status of the blooms by visiting the live camera on the McKee-Bescher's website. Each summer, the Montgomery County Council offers a 10-week Summer Fellows program for graduate students in their first and second year of study to gain real-world experience in multiple fields of government. Recently, we spent a day with this summer's group as they learned about the thriving Germantown initiative. These 7 future leaders are learning firsthand about the inner workings of county government directly from the experts. The Summer Fellows met with council members and members of the nonprofit community who are working directly with residents in Germantown. They heard how both the population and poverty is growing in this up-county community.
And as those pockets continue to grow, it makes it even harder for government to do it alone when it comes to meeting the needs of our residents. And that's where our nonprofit partners come in. They're the ones who are the glue who hold it together. They're the ones who ensure that people don't slip through the cracks.
The panelists on hand represented the thriving Germantown Community Hub. This program is facilitated through Family Services and offers a combined response to the economic and social disparities that exist in Germantown.
So we have a program that offers reading services.
The program works to improve health and wellness, ensure educational success, and address traumatic childhood experiences. All of the services through the hub are provided at Captain James Daly Elementary School in Germantown.
The social services pathway includes some of the services in the following areas: food, clothing, furniture, legal assistance, domestic violence assistance, utility assistance, and many, many more.
One question that I always ask myself every day: if we do one backpack program for after school, have I done anything to help that whole household become food secure? So one intervention's not enough. We need to assess what is that whole household food insecurity.
It was an education for these students on what it takes to build a strong community with so many moving parts.
I've had a parent actually let me know, break down and cry and tell me, that she has to keep it together for her kids. But, kids come first for her, but letting her know that her care as well is just as important, because if she's not okay, she can't provide, the care for her children.
The Summer Fellows program runs through August 10th with a busy agenda, including a visit to Progress Place and a meeting with Montgomery County Public Schools officials. And finally, 33rd and 5th graders recently graduated from the 11th annual Montgomery County Police Adventure Camp. It provides youngsters the opportunity to learn about the work of police officers while participating in character-building skills, sports, crafts, and field trips. Our videographer Mike Springerth was on hand for the big day.
This week we had our 11th annual Police Adventure Camp. The camp is targeted towards kids that may not know about police officers as well as others. So we want to target the kids that we can reach to hopefully educate them so that they know about the police, so that they will learn to trust and know the police. We want everyone in the community to be familiar and also safe around police officers, and that's what we try to do here. The Police Adventure Camp is all about educating the kids about law enforcement, why we have law enforcement, why we do what we do, and we educate them by bringing in different aspects of the police department. This week at camp we had K9 come, but we also talk about making good choices.
You make good choices and you act with character, and you will go a long way. And you take the things that you learned this week and every other week of your life, you take those opportunities and you make good choices.
But we also want to expand the kids' horizon. At camp this week we went to the Air and Space Museum, and with that we got a lecture on flight, how flight first started. We end every camp with a graduation ceremony, and that's what we just did.
Nevaeh Mendoza.
I'm so proud of my daughter. She's always helping people. She cares about people. And the fact that this camp exists, I'm very excited about it. I support it. I hope this is just a great experience. I mean, people think police are bad. They're actually not. It's when you do the right thing, then you have nothing to worry about.
I've been doing this camp for 11 years. I've seen them from little kids knee-high all the way up to what they are now. And I've seen them growing, and I've seen them getting so many different adventures while they're here at the camp and developing as a person. I think the best thing about this camp is the fact that I get to see that I'm helping to affect somebody to become a good citizen, to become somebody who is going to do their best at what they're going to do. And that's what I get out of this camp. If I can affect one child going through this camp to become a better, more productive citizen, I've won.
The police, I actually respect them now, because I didn't really like them before I came to this camp, and now I do.
My daughter got up every morning and she did this on her own. So I'm very proud of her. I'm very proud of you.
Well, that does it for this edition of The Bottom Line. For County Cable Montgomery, I'm Susan Kenedy. Thanks for watching.